Yeah, there were allegedly 24 people who have allegedly gone through it to the moon and back. But the footage we uncovered shows them faking being halfway to the moon from Earth orbit. So it proves that they could not even go halfway to the moon because they're faking being halfway to the moon.
Well, whatever that footage was, though, in all fairness, that footage wasn't released, right? That footage was found footage, correct?
That was outtakes of them faking being halfway to the moon, which even my greatest critic agrees that is them faking being halfway to the moon. And they're doing it from Earth orbit, and it's dated 2 days into the flight where they're supposed to be halfway to the moon. Yeah.
We'll show the video, but if I was going to steel man it, what I would say is if I'm training these guys to film things and they're training all day long to do a bunch of different things, one of the things I would do is to train them how to film the Earth from the moon. And to simulate that, I would say what you can do is black out all the light when you're in low Earth orbit, focus on one of those circular windows, put the transparency or whatever it is in front of the window, and practice that way. So that way we make sure that you get it right.
Except it's dated 2 days and 3 days into the flight when they're supposed to be halfway to the moon.
Damn, my steel man's not working.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's
You're
let's
really
take
bad devil's advocate.
I'm just giving.
Yeah,
you have to, though,
here's
right?
something
Don't you
about
think I have to?
No,
I mean,
you don't.
No,
you don't. And here's why. Because we've heard their side of the story for 54
years. Right, but
years.
Bart, everybody hasn't. This is where you're wrong.
No, their side of the story.
Yeah.
We've heard that the moon landings are real for 54 years.
You've heard that. But
so
they
don't need extra time.
It's not they.
The truth
it's the
needs
people
extra time.
today that are in the scientific community that believe the moon landing's real. So you have to approach it from the perspective of how they're going to debunk your debunk.
Okay, well, let me tell you something else about the radiation.
Let's look at the footage first, because I think we're beating around the bush. The footage is so shocking that you immediately go, okay, what is this? Like, what is this? I just want to know what logically could this be? The only thing that I could think of that was logically would be that they were practicing.
I'm asking though, is this the video should be showing here or not?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is one when you compare back and forth, right?
Correct. I mean, there's more.
Isn't there one of just the actual video that we can watch?
Well, you could go to Sibrel.com, click on a funny thing happened on the way to the moon, or go to the Moon Man video links at Sibrel.com and pull this up smoking gun. I just gave you the time cues on the most significant part where you could do the side-by-side comparison.
And the side-by-side comparison is for?
Well, on the left, Neil Armstrong claims this is 130,000 miles out. He claims that the camera lens is at the glass, and that's the Earth floating in space. What's on the right-hand side are the outtakes that we got an unedited reel of the special effects shot by accident. And the lights come up and you see...
Okay, so this is the exact same size image.
Correct.
So roughly the same distance
so
if they were really out
on the
there.
left, he claims, and this is the part they showed to the public, that that's the Earth floating in space halfway to the moon looking back.
Okay.
And then on the right is the outtakes where the lights come up and you see that the camera's really at the back of the spacecraft, and that's part of the Earth outside of a circular window with a little crescent piece molded in front of it. And that's the take on the left-hand side. You're about to see Michael Collins break down part of the
so this is
special effect.
This is what I want everybody to look at. Because
So
this is where... Okay, hold on a second. This is where it gets really weird. So they're saying they're 130,000 miles away. So they're in deep space.
So that proves it's the window. You see that?
Right.
That's
so now there's
astronaut...
people standing in front of the... We used to think that we're looking out into space at the Earth, but now we realize there's people standing in front of it. So there's other stuff going on. So something there's you're filming a room, and then
that's
whatever,
really the window.
Right.
That's an
it's
arm.
a window.
Yeah, that's an arm getting in front of the window. That's an outtake they never showed because it shows that it's a fake shot.
Okay, do you think that is just a piece of the Earth in a circular window?
Well, I mean,
or do you think they put something over the window to represent the Earth?
Another photographer believes it's like a transparency of. There's the circular
Let's
window.
let this play out. Let's let this play out. So if
so
people
that's
see
the
it,
window. The point is, it's the window.
Back it up a little
They're
bit.
using
Jamie.
the window to create a 1-foot model of the Earth.
They're using the darkness of the cabin by blocking out all the windows.
And it
makes
looks
it look like it's space.
Exactly. It makes it look like the Earth is floating in space. So we have them faking being halfway to the moon, which means they cannot go halfway to the moon. And here we are 54 years later, and they still cannot go halfway to the moon. That's why there's mannequins orbiting the moon. They said in 2014 and 2018 they would have people orbiting the moon. They were 100% behind schedule.
Yeah, but that's politicians. They lie about everything, and they might have had grand plans and didn't get the funding. But this is shocking, weird stuff. Because it's hard to explain. It's hard to come up with a rational explanation of what this could be.
Well, that's
because
them
if they are
being
saying,
halfway to the moon.
right,
That's what it is.
But we should play the audio. So they say in the audio we're 130,000 miles away.
Right,
correct?
and then they also say,
Let's
which
play
is
the audio.
which is another lie, that there's only one window that faces the Earth, and it's filled up with the TV camera. Meaning,
Right.
the lens would have to be right up against the window to see
Right.
that. But the camera's really at the back of the spacecraft with all the lights off.
Let's play
You're
that.
seeing part of the Earth outside of the window. It's very ingenious.
Let's play that so we can hear the words.
Okay.
We can hear them say that because it's even more interesting. So if you see the footage and then you hear the words, you go, what could they possibly be doing here?
go to the moon.
That's gonna
If they're
happen.
faking being
Hold on.
This
Where
is
do I
you.
find the video
Yeah.
then?
Where can we find the raw video?
The
where
raw
it's-
video is in A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. Go to Sibrel.com. It's on the homepage.
That's his YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's not my film. That's another.
How is this not the video?
No,
though?
that's
No,
not
go
it.
to Sibrel.com. He's got links up there.
Let me add one thing about
Okay.
the radiation. So, after Kelly Smith put his foot in his mouth, I called up NASA. I said, I'm a journalist. Can I talk to the guy? No, we don't allow him to talk to reporters anymore. I said, well, you sent up 2 Geiger counters on a civilian mission with tax dollars to specifically measure the radiation in the radiation belt, which they should have had 50 years ago anyway.
Right.
And then I said, can I please have those radiation readings? And then they said this, Joe. They said it's a classified military secret. I said, oh, wait a minute. When you sent probes to the sun to measure the temperature of the sun isn't a military secret. When you sent probes to Jupiter to find out how much helium is in Jupiter's atmosphere, the amount of helium isn't a military secret. So why would the amount of radiation surrounding the Earth and the radiation belt that most people don't know about, why would that amount of radiation be a secret?
I would-
Because if they reveal it, it would prove that they couldn't go through it to the moon.